hope, purpose, productivity. Yeah, look. In fact, you can see it, can't you? Okay, so I'm going to pop this in the oven. The cheese plant is not going to work though. I think it's madness. I think it would be a fire hazard and God knows what else. So we're not going to do that. I could do boobies. I quite like to have boobies in my haul. Good morning, good morning. So today is Tuesday, and so this is what I'm filming now is just going to be for the Wednesday video. So I hope you like it, and I'm going to make some brownies. I did mention this last night, but of course you won't see that until Sunday. But last night I had so much fun. I went to Wendy's Sky Garden for drinks, and it was really lovely. And it ended up being a really big tour of her terraced garden. And I haven't even looked at it yet. So I hope that it was okay, because she was talking all the time and I was talking all the time and moving the camera, and I just hope that I got some good stuff, because it was really special. Anyway, so what I'm going to make now is it's something that I'm trying to copy something that I ate. So I went to this event. It was ages ago. Funny enough, I think it was actually the first birthday of Wellness Works, you know, the wellness centre where I work occasionally. And so all the food was, you know, vegan and really, really healthy. And I had these brownies. Oh my God. I mean, I was actually a bit of a beast. In fact, I think I told you this. Anyway, I ate two just while I was standing there, because I positioned myself next to there was a big platter of them. I don't think anyone went without. I think I might have taken one home for me. In my defence, they were only about that big. But they were miso. That's all I managed to get, information-wise, was that they had miso in them, because they had this salty, slightly, very, very gentle caramel layer in it, but it wasn't just caramel. It had that sort of slightly odd kind of soy miso-ness. It was super dark chocolate, super, you know, you had to like be careful as you were eating it. It was that sort of soft and fudgy. Anyway, mine probably won't be anything like that. First of all, they won't have the layer of, you know, the miso caramel in it, because I haven't been able to find a recipe that has that. So these ones, oh God, I can't remember her name. I found them online. I'm going to make sure I link everything meticulously. These are, I know her first name is Mira. She's a very well-known food writer. Is it Mira Sodal or something like that? Anyway, I will link her properly, and in fact I'll probably put a little thing up here now. So we're going to make those, and they are pretty healthy. The ingredients are chia seeds, because they're vegan, so the chia seeds get mixed with water to make that sort of eggy, frog spawny goodness. It's meant to be soft brown sugar, but I've got demerara, that will have to suffice. Coconut oil. I've got some 100% cacao chocolate here, and then I also have this Montezuma's chocolate, which I don't actually like very much. This is orange and cacao nibs, but again I'm just going to throw that in because I'm not going to eat this chocolate anyway. It's just too, yeah, actually this is 100% cacao. I mean 100% cacao is really tough. The recipe actually only calls for 70% chocolate, but I'm using what I have, so I might up the sugar a little bit, and then obviously plain flour. Anyway, I'm going to put this to one side, actually, because I'm going to start trying to sort out little bits of my kitchen. Sorry, it's just the recipe I've written down here, because I can't bear it when, well, also I can't look at the recipe because it's on my phone, but don't you find when you're cooking from using your phone and the screen keeps going and then it's just beyond annoying. I can't bear it. So I'm going to put that there. But what I'm going to try and do now is I'm just going to go through those condiments things. And I thought, I don't know, I think I would quite like to watch someone do that. Hopefully it's more interesting making paint, watching paint dry. But I want to see if I can actually get this down a bit, because there seems to be, I seem to have a lot, and it's annoying me. It's really annoying me that I want to create a space and maybe, fit all of these things into a smaller space, so that then I can have maybe just, a lovely plant in that corner. If you watched my last vlog where I rescue my plants, I think the cheese plant is not going to work though. I think it's madness. I think it would be a fire hazard and God knows what else. So we're not going to do that. Okay, so very quickly, I've been reading that when you do this sort of sorting out, first of all, get rid of anything that you first of all, put aside the things that you 100% want. So 100%, I want that olive oil. I want that olive oil. I want that olive oil. There's a lot of olive oil. I want that olive oil. Okay, there's a bit of a pattern here. Yeah, that's a lot of olive oil. Okay, so what I'm going to do already with that is I'm going to reduce everything down. Oh my God, that's olive oil as well. That one's nearly, in fact, you know what, that one is done. Great, okay, so already we're one bottle down. One bottle down. So I think what I'm going to do here, this is one from the Newt, which is just fabulous. Look, cold extracted olive oil, yummy. And there's literally hardly anything in that, but waste not, want not. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep, because this one is open, so I'm going to keep this big bottle and this one that's almost empty, and then these other two, they don't need to be on the work surface. I'm going to put them in the, I'm going to put them in the larder. Okay, so that's really good. So hot sauce, I don't use this, but I kind of feel like I might. Isn't that hideous? That's exactly what you're not meant to do, is keep things because you think you might use them. Chili infused oil. Well, you see, I've had this for a while and it's only half olive oil and the rest is sunflower oil. I'm not going to keep that, actually. I'm not going to keep that. Sunflower oil is not a great thing. Teriyaki, I'm going to keep that for sure. Red wine vinegar. And as I'm doing this, I'm just looking at the sell-by dates. Anyway, vinegar lasts forever, doesn't it? See, salted caramel syrup. I don't even know where that came from. I don't want it. I don't want that. What's this? Balsamic vinegar. I'm actually going to keep that because I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to try and work something out for you guys, because one of you geniuses told me that, you know how I was talking about this wonderful aged balsamic vinegar, and it's quite thick and syrupy and it's utterly delicious. It's ridiculously expensive, it's like £24, and I used a couple of spoons of it in the lentil thing I made. Well, one of you said that you can get normal, just very normal, liquidy, not aged balsamic vinegar, and you can reduce it down. And apparently she knows this because she knew a chef, and then I googled it and it is a thing. Apparently it doesn't quite have the sweetness that an aged one might have, but it's not a bad dupe either, or cheat, So I'm going to keep that because just for quantity, because I'll probably get like a bigger bottle of just cheap balsamic and see what happens. What's that? Red wine vinegar. We don't need two. I don't use it all the time. That one looks really good. That one looks really very horrible. Let me see what the sell-by date is. Does not say. I don't like the look of that. I'm going to get I don't like throwing away food, but then you just got to be real in life, haven't you? Worcester sauce I am going to keep because that has a place. That's just unbelievably gross, dusty. Okay, I wish I could. White wine vinegar, again, I am going to keep that because even though, you know, the cider vinegar, the mother cider vinegar is so much better for you. That's so good for salad dressing, so I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that because I just love it, which is like a sort of a salty, chilli, limey thing that you can sprinkle on food. Rice vinegar, again, I don't use it, but I don't use it often, but sometimes I do for Asian sauces. Like there's a Bill Granger recipe, which I just do all the time, and it's wonderful, and I know it needs that. So sesame oil, again, for Asian cooking, delicious. Dark soy sauce, yes, we definitely need that. Garlic granules, I'm not a fan, but I think I'm going to keep them anyway. But actually, they should not be there. They need to be in the larder. So I'm going to put them over there. So what's this? That's cider vinegar. Okay, well that's got a nice little write-up. So maybe I will keep that. Maybe I will keep that. Coleman's mustard, you always need. That Old Bay seasoning, is that gross? What sort of rubbish has this got in it? Oh, actually, it's not too bad. It's got an anti-caking agent in it. But literally, that's the only... Everything else is... Well, I'm quite impressed with that. Is there sugar in it? Sugar, but the sugar is way down. Thanks, Quincy, sabotaging my channel again. Shush! Shush! Okay. So we've got some very horrible super glue. Horrible. Actually, I'm going to keep that straw. Let's get rid of that. I'll just put that there. Like so. Whoops. What do we have here? We have more sesame oil. Interesting. Okay, so I have to remember that I have 2 sesame oils to use up. It's another little darling olive oil, but that one is nearly empty, so again, that can just stay there. We have the raw apple cider vinegar, okay, unfiltered and unpasteurised, we want that. And then these, again, the cinnamon I have to keep out because I don't want to go to the larder every morning when I make my apple thing, so I'm going to leave the cinnamon out. But the ginger, in fact, all these things here, literally everything here, all these little, you know, these sort of little spices, this lot here, what's that? Copper. They can go in the larder. That's the correct place for them. Then I have a little recipe here for Alice's, a little note. Okay, well, obviously we have to keep that. That's something disgusting. Let's get rid of that. And oh God, there's a spider in the corner of it. Okay, I'm going to press pause. I'm going to just release the spider. Okay, so I've just washed, well, I put the spider out. That spider's now having a lovely spa day. She'll probably make her way back inside at some point, but I put her in the, you know, the little olive tree I've got that's got the Mexican daisies in the base. I just shooed her into that. So I think she's pretty happy. So this is the little thing that I keep all of my condiments in. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do, I don't think they need to be there at all. I'm going to fit as many of them in here, and then I'm just literally going to put them in the corner there. And I think that just makes so much more sense. To the cooker, I don't think it's necessary. I think, you know, your kitchen just has to be whatever works for you. And I think that this is going to work for me. Oh, that Old Bay seasoning and the mustard also can go in the larder. I have no idea why they're here. They're doing nothing There's no reason for them to be here. So there, look at that. They all fit in really quite easily as well. There we go. So I'm going to put those over here, out of the way. And then later on I'll just move the toaster around. And now I'm going to start on the brownies. That's Wendy just sending me a message. I showed her some of the messages that you had left, because I think she does watch the videos, but she's not super savvy with like being able to read the comments and stuff like that. So it was a real surprise to her, and thanks for doing that. And yeah, she's just amazing. Right, okay, so I'm going to make a start on the brownies now. So the first thing I need to do is put this here, oops, and then I will get my little scale. I love these scales. I used to have, old-fashioned things, and then you suddenly realise ones like this, they just make all the difference. Anyway, I'm going to weigh everything out, and then I'll come back. Okay, right. So we have the chia seeds turning to goo in here. It says in the rest, I fear there has been already some slight screw ups. I'll tell you what they are. So it calls for milled chia seeds. I don't know if these are milled or not. I think they kind of must be, because I'm guessing that the chia seeds have outer husks or something else, and that the chia seed, anyway, because they're quite tiny as it is. I mean, they'd be dust otherwise, wouldn't they? Anyway, so that's just turning to the frog spawn in here, which is actually, going quite well. So there's that. I had to really, this recipe calls for 250 grams of, 250 grams of chocolate. And I had to really scrabble around for it. In fact, there's several sacrifices had to be made. The most painful was this chocolate. It's so deep. I mean, if you like dark chocolate, it's got sea salt in it. But also look at the packaging. Beautiful. And also what I like is when it's not like, obviously I eat junk, plenty of junk chocolate as well. If I'm going to have a nice chocolate, I want a nice chocolate. The ingredients on this are cacao mass, raw cane sugar, cacao butter, sea salt, done. That's it. It's very delicious. It's so good because I like the chunkiness of the salt. Anyway, so that's that. Let's get rid of those. Put those down there, out of the way. And then another screw up is I only have, it calls for 3 tablespoons of miso paste, and I only have 1. But we're just going to see. Anyway, so in here, I have the coconut oil, and the chocolate is just gently melting in here. Obviously you don't want it to burn, because chocolate spoils so easily, although it should be okay because it's in with a coconut oil. But even so, I'm going to keep a careful eye on that. And then I'm going to measure out my sugar. It's quite a lot of sugar, which doesn't feel good, but anyway, what can you do? Sometimes you've got to have it. So it needs 350 grams of sugar. I love using up half-empty things, don't you? It makes me very happy. So 3, and again, this should be, muscovado sugar, like muscovado, but I don't have it. It goes in with a coconut oil and chocolate. I don't see what difference it makes, to be honest with you. So that's the stage we are at the moment, and then I will come back and show you more. Okay, right. This is going to be a very wet recipe. It's very strange. I wonder if I can just show you. Can you see? It's listen. Actually, look, I'll try and lift it up like so. And then so this is the coconut oil and chocolate, okay? And then to this, I am adding sugar. There we go, quite a lot of sugar. It's a disturbing amount of sugar, really. But I suppose it's a treat, you know, it's just a treat thing, isn't it? And then the flour goes in. In this flour I've put the sea salt, because you need sea salt. And in fact, I put a bit of extra sea salt in because, tragically, I only had about 1 tablespoon of the white miso paste, and you're meant to have 3. So I've already put the miso in here, just so you know. The miso I put in after I've melted the chocolate and coconut all together. Oh my god, this is a very strange recipe. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that already. Hang on, I'll pop it on here again. This is the recipe. This is it thus far. See how watery that is? I'm not feeling hopeful about this. So no one don't be making this in real time. Let's just wait and see how it finishes. Because then I'm adding in the frog spawn. So that's really odd, isn't it? Anyway, we'll give it a go. It did have quite mixed reviews on the website. I mean, one of the things people said was that the oil separates, and the oil isn't separating. So let's get this bad boy in the oven, just in case the oil does suddenly separate. So I should have preheated that. I have a lovely square brownie tin, and I have mislaid it. I've got a feeling, actually, I made something and I put it in the tin, and I might have left it there. This is you know how this is very unwieldy to use? You probably all know this, but I've discovered it quite recently. You screw it up into a ball, and then it's really easy to just shape it into your tin, and it just makes life so much easier, because I used to have to do stupid cutting, and now look, I don't have to. See how well that's worked? Boom. Okay, I hope this tin is big enough. Anyway, it's going in. It's going in. It hasn't separated. It looks pretty tasty, actually. And weirdly enough, adding the frog spawn has actually thickened it. Can you see? It's not quite. I'm going to try and pour it from a little bit of a height so that you can see. Yeah, do you see? That is a little bit more brownie-esque, isn't it? And I have got everything in there, I believe. Yum, yum, yum. Yeah, actually, I'm feeling a little more confident now. Yeah, look. In fact, you can see, can't you? Okay, so we're going to pop this in the oven, and it needs to go in for 45 minutes. There we go. And then, so I'm going to press pause, and then I'm going to do that corner and come back, and then I will show you the brownies. Oh gosh, I hope they work. Anyway, let's do, so that's 45 minutes. Can I just say, I woke up this morning just not feeling great. I didn't sleep well. You know, sometimes you just don't, do you? And I really, really did not feel good at all. You know, sometimes in the morning you wake up and it's, you know, you feel all sort of, you know, sassy, and I didn't. I felt really, just really not good. And so I was sitting down, so I made my apple and seed and cinnamon thing and my lovely black coffee, and I went and sat in the living room, and I tidied up the sofa the night before, so it's all, you know, white linen and plumped cushions, and it was just very calm. And I got my notebook out, which I'll show you in a minute. Actually, it's a different one, just for any stationery fiends amongst you, because it's a particularly sort of important one for me. Anyway, got my notebook out. I was just writing in what I wanted to, or what I needed to achieve today. So there was no sort of fluff to it, just bare bones list of absolute essentials, which felt nice. I was just drinking my coffee, and then I thought, because I wasn't going to put the TV on at all, And then I thought, no, I know what I want to do. So I just went on YouTube, and weirdly, a video came up, and it was, you know, Colette's channel, BL Tunner Cottage, and it was a short video. She'd posted it, I think, a couple of hours before. I think it was called Early Morning. Anyway, it was today, which is Tuesday, the 20th of May, and I think it's about 7 minutes long. And Colette isn't speaking in it. She's, you know, which is obviously lovely when she does, but in this particular video, it was literally just nature, and I cannot tell you how good it made me feel watching it, because it's literally just the sounds of nature, and she just goes very slowly, takes her time. There's nothing contrived about it, so there will be just like a little. There was a good few shots of bumblebees, and you can hear them as well, really fat bumblebees, and beautiful butterfly, and the bird song, and there was gunnera, and water, and green, and flowers, and trees, and sky, and it just had that feeling of morning. You know, that feeling of morning. I always think mornings and maybe dusk are the best times. They're just the best times of day. But particularly morning, when you feel that you're up before anyone else and you're just out, and yeah, just the healing power of nature, really, and just how important it is for us all amid the noise and the horror, which I never talk about anything going on this channel, just because that's just a personal decision for me. But I will say this, sometimes everything can be overwhelming, and there's so much going on now, and because, you know, our methods of communication are so instantaneous and advanced now that we hear everything instantly all the time. We're just bombarded with it. And so I listened to a news podcast, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, but it started out, I used to follow Alistair Campbell on Instagram, and Alistair Campbell, well, I'm sure you all know who he is. I find him a very smart, straight down the line, inspiring man, very, very, very knowledgeable, in my opinion. This is all just my opinion about geopolitics, current affairs, and so he's teamed up with. So his background is, you know, Labour Party, and, you know, under the Blair government. So he must be like 60s now, I guess. Anyway, and so he's teamed up with Rory Stewart, who used to be a Conservative MP, I believe. Anyway, he's not anymore. And so together it's called The Rest is Politics, and they just talk about what is happening. And I tell you what I love about them, there is very little emotion. It's just facts. Again, that it's their take on it, but I like that there are two of them, and they don't always agree on things, but even when they don't agree on things, they both present their side, and then it's kind of up to you to decide. It isn't done to create decision making on our part. It's not like a you know, little thing that they do. It isn't that. They basically have an in-depth conversation about a particular aspect of what is going on in the world. I personally find it really helpful, because I always think it's good to have facts without emotion, if you can, if you just want to stay abreast of what is happening. Because the way that it started off with, you know, the Alistair Campbell Instagram, is that he would just do like a video every morning, because he and his wife like to go and swim do outdoor swimming, and so it would be either the walk to that or the walk back from that, and he would just talk about what's going on in the world and give his take on it. And his take personally is very, very valuable to me. And I also really admire him because I know that he's fought and probably continues to fight a real battle with mental health, in terms of he suffers from paralysing bouts of depression, and yet he is this formidable, impressive man. And he's just so busy. So obviously the way, he's a workaholic for sure, 100%. But it's clearly what works for him, and it keeps the black dog at bay. And you've got to do what you've got to do. So some people will, find other ways, but his way is through work and staying challenged and motivated. And so I just thought I'd flag that up really, because I'm aware that there is a complete absence of anything going on in the world in this channel, and that is absolutely deliberate, because we need respite, and I want to be able to offer that respite. So anyway, so I hope that that's okay. I'm gonna bring the plant in, and we're gonna see how that corner looks now. Okay. Can I say too, the mix is none too shabby. It's pretty nice. In fact, I just got a chunk of salt. Do you know what I might do in a minute? I might actually sprinkle some of these little salt rocks on top of it, because I love salt and sweet. So yeah, listen, I hope I haven't triggered anyone just talking about current affairs. I'm not going to do that very often at all. And in fact, I haven't talked about anything specific, and I really don't want to. Anyway, so alongside that, I just wanted to recommend the Rest is Politics podcast, just because it's very measured. It's measured. There is very, very little emotion. It's just hard facts. It's hard facts, and also it's projections of what might happen, which I find very helpful, but not hysterical projections of what might happen. It's projections based on things that have gone before, on previous form, as it were. And I find acquiring that knowledge is helpful to me and reduces my stress levels, whereas and I literally hate myself even talking about my stress levels, because life is peachy for me compared with, the vast majority of the world, really. I just wanted to throw that out there, and then also to talk about the importance of salt chunks in brownies. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm very confused by this. I don't know what I've made, but it looks like blackened, scorched earth. It looks like I've poured rice Cocoa Pops all over the top of it. And I don't know what the consistency is going to be. I sort of feel that beneath this blackened, scorched earth, it's maybe just going to be quite liquid. Maybe you need to eat it with a bib and a spoon, and if it tastes good, that's exactly what I'll do. But I'm not hopeful, and but we will see. I'm going to let it cool down for a little while, and then I will slice it, and we will see. But this definitely won't be Mira's fault, that's for sure, because a lot of people have said what a beautiful recipe this is. I'm just a bit concerned, but yeah, I'm just going to literally, obviously, just let it cool in the tin, then I'll slice it, and we shall see. And I'm going to now show you the corner, because I think I'm very pleased with that. I am very pleased. Okay, so this is the new corner. So do you remember before it was full of these, which I've even pared down a little bit. Now it's clear, so I'll get rid of that. colour. So yeah, so this is a rubber plant, and it's a little bit big for the space, but I think it's actually manageable, and what I can do maybe is to sort of train it up here. And anyway, I think it's going to be quite happy there, and I like the look of it. I just like the vibe. I like plants. I know it seems that I probably don't, that I don't look after them properly, but I actually really like them. Anyway, oh, I wanted to show you the notebook. Let me just show you the notebook. So, sorry, I haven't got the notebook yet. I got distracted by this because I started slicing it and it sliced quite pleasantly. And then I took a little bite, and I'm going to do another little bite now. Oh, it's where it needs to be, right? So, good consistency, quite fudgy. Damn, it's good. This rubble on the top that looks like blackened, parched earth is chewy, baby. It's not like any brownie I've ever eaten, to be honest with you. It's not properly cooled yet, so I can't tell how it will slice. Damn, it's good. So chocolatey. I might actually, in fact I'm going to, because I want, do you know, it's probably because I only had 1 tablespoon of miso. I reckon if I had had the 3, we would be looking pretty much perfection. This is just flaked Malden sea salt. Damn, that's good. That is damn fine, babies. That is damn fine. I'm wildly excited by that. It's just so good. It's so good. So, yeah, but don't make it until we get the final approval that it's even worth going, even worth doing, because it does need to be able, you need to be able to slice it. But I'm going to do the score lines now and see if it, in fact I'll do that. I will do that while you're here. Damn, fine. Yeah, I mean it's slicing for sure. You know, that is not liquid by any stretch of the imagination. It's really annoying actually, because while I'm just looking here, I can see that the light is better from this angle, and that's because there's a window. You've got to have the light from the window to get a really good result. Oh, that's just literally, brownies are very cheery. Look at this. Yeah, I mean, it's slicing. It's slicing, baby. It is slicing. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of chewiness there, because I always think with brownies you want the goo and you want the chew, and you also want a little bit of the crunch, you know, when you have that fine layer. This doesn't really have that fine layer, but it has something completely different instead. Oh man, look, see, this is a bit of the rubble, and it's crunchy, but on a very surface layer, but chewy. You see, I had that with a little piece of the Malden salt. It's really good. Intensely chocolatey. Tick. Yeah. Okay, I'll arrange them prettily on a tray. Alice bought me this tray for Mother's Day. About 100 years ago, they sent Emma Bridgewater one, and I like the bunting inside of it. I like a lot about it. I like how lightweight it is and how it's just indestructible. Look at it, so battered up. It was a little Mother's Day present when she was younger. Maybe, God, probably 15 years ago. But it's nice how you keep certain things, isn't it? Anyway, I've got to go out now. I have to do something, but I'm going to come back and we'll conclude this episode of is the brownie great or not great? At the moment, I mean, the flavour, delicious, texture, unusual, but in a very impressive and delicious way. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much. Okay, right, the time has come. I'm going to serve up the brownies so that you can see what they're like. And they are unusual. I have eaten several already. So this is how they look. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to take you into the living room because it's really lovely. There's just a lovely light in there at the moment, and I want to show you that stationery thing. And I'm going to make a cup of tea and then we'll sit down. Okay. I have to say, I kind of surprised myself in my mature years just how feminine this sofa is. It's like, could it be more feminine? Honestly. I don't know, I quite like it though. It really surprises me because I've never really, look, even with pink candles and the horse, and yeah, it's funny, isn't it, how we change. It's very feminine, very soft and very feminine, and often I don't feel that I'm soft and feminine at all. Life hasn't really, I don't know, sometimes you can't be like that. You have to be someone else, and I don't know. I guess it's nice in your own home to be your softest version of yourself, which is how it should be, really. It should be a retreat. Anyway, that's my sermon over, but I wanted to show you just this little plant here, looking pretty happy. I've moved it in here just temporarily, really. It's just it's in a pretty little pot. It needs a proper pot, but I'm a bit worried about these lower leaves coming off. But I'm not. I think that's part of it, because these top leaves are looking damn fine. I'm very pleased about that. Anyway, I'm going to show you, I need to sort this out so I can show you the stationery thing. Okay, so I'm in the living room now. I don't really know why I'm showing you this. I'm just sort of working on the basis that many of you will be as into stationery, and therefore sort of like almost like the life of the mind and people's processes, or women's processes. I always find it very, very interesting. So I'm working on that basis. So this is another Smythson leather thing. So I put just a good and nice quality notepad in it, and this I bought. It was when I was working in PR with Jean, and I think the reason I like this so much is that it has only good memories, only good associations, because this book I bought for myself. I think it was in Selfridges, and work was going really well, and Jean and I were really doing some good stuff. It was a very stimulating and rewarding time in our lives, and the people that we were working with were so interesting, and there was just a buzz. Sometimes in life you just go through periods where life gives you things. Obviously you have to give out as well, but it gives you things, and it was just we had a really, just such a strong working relationship and friendship, and in a way this book is sort of all tied in with that, because so I bought this for myself in the Smythson sale. Smythson have the most amazing sale, and I think it was like a half price or 60% off or something like that. Still not cheap because they're really expensive. And but the thing I really like about it is that it's embossed. If you can see, it's a little teeny Aries ram. Sorry, I've got chocolate on my fingers. Disgusting. And I bought it because I felt I really needed it, to be honest with you. It was because I like working with an A5 notebook, and this was very much my work thing. So it would live on my desk all the time, unless I was going to a meeting, and then I would look in. It has oh, where's my pen? So I like black kind of medium fine liner pens. So the pen goes there like that, and so that would basically live on my desk, which was white melamine, quite big. We had plants, beautiful things, and it would come with me if I had to go to a meeting. Because again, you know me, carry around quite a big bag, and it would go like that. And then even back then, I always had Moleskine diary, and see that just fits in the back like that. Lovely. And this book, this notepad thing, in fact, I've reverted to using this now, because this was when you just want to get stuff done. This was my real, if it was in this book, and I would, because my handwriting can be really quite mad, but I used to make myself take my sweet time, write proper lists and get stuff done. And so I brought this out of retirement because I haven't really used it, because once again I'm in a time where I want to get stuff done. And in a way it's, to be honest with you, maybe for lots of people it's a time when they're slowing down. But because I am where I am and things are as they are, I don't feel I can slow down, and even if I could, I don't know that I would want to. So anyway, it's just a book for getting stuff done, and it just makes me happy, and I love the colour of it, you know, that lovely kind of dove grey. And I like the way that, you know, they're very well designed. Do you see? So this is really obsessive now. We're going to really nerd it up. Look, imagine this is on a table desk, right? So you get it like that. That flops open, and then it flops flat. So you don't have any of this fighting to try, you know, because my handwriting needs all the help it can get. So I don't want to be fighting with that. Obviously, when you've got the pen out, and you know, you can put business cards and everything in here, or little notes and things. I just haven't got anything in here at the moment because it basically stays with me. But I also choose a notebook. This one is, hang on. It just says ruled paper. That's unhelpful, isn't it? Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, it's very nice quality. It's, you know, it's thick. It's thick, and then it just has the date and stuff at the top. Not wide lined, not narrow lined, just somewhere in the middle. Also, the pages are slightly cream, which again I like. It's just, I don't know, it just works. And then this cover is kind of plasticky. And again, this is chosen consciously. I don't know what material it is, but it's hard, so that when you've got it open on here, it covers those undulations, so that even on that side you can write very well. I know I must sound obsessed, but I am. I'm just obsessed with that, and it's just one of my most treasured things. And as I say, it's because of the things I associate it with. So I associate it with Jean. I associate, who is, I think I've said before, one of literally my oldest friends. Although Jean and I have been talking about meeting up for a really long time now, and I feel like it's going to be one of those things where we'll talk about meeting up until one of us dies. No, it's not going to be like that. I'm going to see her really soon. But anyway, and it just, I don't know. Yeah, it's just, it represents hope, purpose, productivity. And I think in some way we all need that. We all need those things. You know, even if you're in a situation in life where life is quite easy, I think it's incredibly important to have purpose. And even more important if life is really tough, but try to cut through so much noise and stay focused on the things that will bring you the most rewards, in terms of getting to where you want to be, or getting out of a situation, or whatever it is. Anyway, and I just wanted to show you Well, I feel like I've been going on for a long time. I just wanted to show you this book again because there was just something in it that I love, and I wanted to share it with you. So yeah, it is, you know, that one. It's the one that I did a couple of weeks ago or a week ago or whatever. And it's just this house. I don't know where this house is. Did I read it was in Kent or something? Doesn't really matter where it is. I can't remember. It's a grade 2 listed house. That's all I know. But what I love, so this is different bits of the kitchen. Okay, so the first thing is this wonderful, I just love this colour, which is timely actually, because it's like a chocolate brownie colour, but do you see, look, infused with there's some sort of beetroot in there as well. You know, if you were given something sweet like that, you think, what's giving it that sort of, that slightly magenta, sorry about the chocolate on my fingers, it's just gross. And I love the picture of the lobster and this, and let me just see. I think that work surface is, it's hard to tell, it's either slate or it's steel. Either way, utterly gorgeous. Maybe it's even polished concrete. I don't think so. I would have polished concrete. Anyway, love everything about that. Just that, and also the very, very slight sheen, I think is super, super pretty. Not pretty, but oh, just lustrous somehow. But not too much sheen. And then, okay, this kitchen is, couldn't be lovelier. Just truly couldn't be lovelier. I love the sink and the marble work surfaces and, you know, that pop of red again. We've got, what have we got there? Quarry tiles and an old rug. Looks like a Persian rug. Range cooker, but wonderful. You know, that's probably a Farrow and Ball pink wall there. Doesn't that just all hang together so beautifully? Yeah, I love that. But I wanted, the reason I'm showing you this is because I got inspired by something. It's not just about things that I love. Anyway, I don't know if you remember, but on my landing there's a picture, and I really don't like it very much. It's just it's basically, I bought it because it's a big old canvas. It's sort of a blue and black and white and a bit of mustard, I think, abstract. That does nothing for me. It just, what's that? It just does nothing for me. And, but it's big, you know, it's probably 80 centimetres square. So it's, you know, and I thought, I looked at that, you know, because I can't paint. Well, I've never been taught. I'd love to go on a course. Well, you know, I would like to go on that Gavin Houghton course, but although I wouldn't really want to paint watercolours, I would be interested in acrylics or lino prints. Really appeal to me because that's lino print. Anyway, sorry, just digressing. But see, do you see that? The boobies. I thought, surely to God, I could do boobies. I'd quite like to have boobies in my haul. I could, you know, I could fashion it on my own boobies, but actually I don't think I'd want to do that at all. But I also like that the whole thing is sort of pinky flesh coloured. Do you see? I know it's a bit, no, like, it's, you know, it's not something that you're going to be really blown away by, but I think it would make me happy just to do it, or to do something, maybe a face or a jug, or I don't know, because there's a whole big canvas there. I hate it at the moment, and I'd love to have a go. But can I just say as well, how restful is that bedroom? You see that colour, that lovely sort of pale sea green, it's so restful, but I feel that to have that colour, it's got to be in a bedroom that's really warm. So I don't know that it would work for mine, but I don't know. It's just like it doesn't mega excite me, but do you know what? Sometimes in a bedroom, I think for it to be restful is maybe more important than anything. Restful and tranquil, and because it's where we go or should go, you know, to get away from the day or to leave the day behind. Anyway, my tea is going to be cold. Did I show you the brownies? I can't remember. Look. So, let me see. I don't really intend to eat 3 right now, but that's them. And I think that's not too bad. I tell you, I kind of wish they had chopped walnuts in them. God, I love chopped walnuts in brownies. But let's just see. Okay, so here we go. We've got crunch, chew, and goo. I think that's fair enough. That's all you want from a brownie. Delicious. A little bit oily on the bottom, literally just on the underside. Can you see? But I think that's just the nature of cooking with or baking with coconut oil. But I'm a fan. I think this is delicious. And if you're looking for a healthy brownie, although it does have a lot of sugar in it. I love the chew. Anyway, sorry, here I am stopping my face. But that's it, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will be back on Sunday. Okay, alright, bye.